So what's up with this guy? Ever since the early days of FNAF, this endoskeleton has always been quite the mystery to the fandom. Although nobody really questioned it as much because, like, how could you? It was an actual character that can affect your gameplay in any way besides visually being in the vents and the prize corner where you wind the puppet's music box. It couldn't actually move towards your office and kill you. Because of how rare of a sighting it was deemed as just a silly little Easter egg. Kinda like the one in FNAF 1 and Sister Location. And security breach in the Pizzaplex. Wait a minute. So clearly something is up with Endos not being possessed but somehow moving like an actual animatronic that is possessed. And we know they aren't possessed because how would a body even fit in an Endo if there's no place to go? Well, ladies and gentlemen, grab your favorite snack and late night energy drink because today we are going to be discussing what is up with these endoskeletons. I don't really want to do an explanation on something like this, but I feel obligated to do so anyway. Okay, so what is an endoskeleton? An endoskeleton is the actual animatronic that's used to perform on stage, but just without the casing. Very similar to the ones in real life, except without the ability to free roam and such. But I guess something like that is being worked on. Actually, we kinda already have them. They just haven't been used in an actual establishment. Anyways, there's more than one type of endoskeleton. There's quite a lot actually, but I'm just gonna list the important ones. Okay, so there's Endo 1, Endo 2, Yendo, and the Glamrock Endo. There's also the Nightmare Endos, but I'll explain what I think they are later in the video. Just know I may or may not add to my theory. Okay, so the main question I want to answer is why and how these guys are moving around. Because it's not just FNAF 2, it's almost all the games. Now obviously, they can't be possessed, right? For all my fellow FNAF fans, you probably know what this is gonna go to, so let's just get it over with. For obvious reasons, I would not be explaining the Mimic. Trust me, everyone else has done it a billion times on this platform, and I had to listen to every single one of them, so I'm doing you a favor. Anyways, if you do know how the story goes in the books, you would know that after the Mimic's creator went bye-bye, Fazbear Entertainment snatched the Mimic and the Mimic program that the Mimic is being run on, so it can mimic. Man, that's a lot of Mimic. And later in the storyline, Fazbear Entertainment is pretty much using the Mimic program to run the Pizzaplex. And so I think the same is happening with the game storyline. Can't say for sure if Edwin is supposed to be a whole new character or even a parallel to William or Henry, but it's possible. Now I'm gonna guess that the first instance of the Mimic program being utilized in the games could be as early as FNAF 4. Since we now know the whole dream theory has been retconned with the gas mannequin shit, I'm just gonna assume that the animatronics being used for the FNAF 4 experiments also utilized the Mimic 1 program to aid in the experiments. With this, it's also safe to say that William had access to this program. Whether he created it or not, doesn't matter, as he is one of the CEOs of Fazbear Entertainment and because of that, would have got his hands on the Mimic program anyway. And since Fazbear Entertainment got the program so early, it's pretty much safe to say that they used it for almost all their endos. Which is why we see Easter eggs of them moving throughout the games. That's what I think Yendo from Sister Location was. An early show for how William was experimenting with the Mimic program. Ooh, and what do you know? The Funtimes used Voice Mimic to learn their victims. William built the Funtime Endos with the Mimic program. And later down the line in FNAF 2, we know that the toy animatronics are not possessed, but are ran by AI with face recognition technology and stuff. That's why we see this Endo walking around. If I had to guess why it doesn't attack you, it'd probably be that even though it is built with the memory program, it wasn't given the facial recognition criminal database thingamajiggy, so it just walks around and crawls in the vents just like the other animatronics do, but doesn't attack you. I mean, you could say that since it is mimicking the other animatronics, it should attack you too, right? But it would have to see them physically attacking you, and we know if they jump scare you, you die. And we know the person we play as, Jerry, likely doesn't get hurt. At least not until night 6. And the next time we see these Mendos, yes I'm calling it that, you can't stop me, is in the Pizzaplex. Specifically the only Endos in there, the Glamrock endoskeletons. But they have to actually learn how to interact with people instead of knowing what to do right off the bat. Further setting the fact that the Mimic program is at play since it isn't a set code where the animatronics know what to do. It's an AI that learns what to do. Okay, case closed, Mendo's canon. But there is one thing I want to point out. So what happens to the animatronic's AI once it gets possessed? Well, let's just chalk it up to Remnant and Agony overriding the animatronic's built-in AI, or at least the spirit possessing the animatronic having more control than the AI, while still not fully taking over. Just so you know, this doesn't disprove Molten MCI or whatever. I feel as if I have to mention that because maybe someone is going to think that I made it seem like the Funtimes are just fully Mimic AI. The Mimic speech function is definitely the Mimic program at play, but it has to be the Agony and Remnant more so in control. Anyways, I'm sure other people have made this connection, but I'm just displaying what I think from my own unbiased research and perspective on this topic. Anyways, this has been Hakanao, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.